everybody. Welcome back to the Routine Podcast.
Gymnastics Conversations.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Chelsea's mom, Diana.
And we're back for episode 80.
And we're self-quarantining.
I have a roommate.
Well, actually, I have a roommate.
Yeah, that's true. I have invaded your space.
Yeah, and I think it's been good.
So far, I mean, I feel like we've just started.
It's only been day 2 or 3.
No, it's been like a solid 4 days.
No.
Saturday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday. 3 days.
3 days. It hadn't been 4.
Feels like 4.
I know. I know, but it hasn't been 4.
I feel like your house is big enough. During the day, we're both working in our separate areas.
And we're literally working. I mean, well, I am. I don't know about you.
No, I am working.
I am working.
Yeah, mom really is a boss move. Like, I just try and come upstairs, to try and fix some toast, get an apple. But she's like always on a call. So I try not to make too much noise.
And at one point, I mean, this was yesterday. I don't know what Chelsea was doing other than she decided to fix lunch.
Because I was hungry.
And I literally, and this is lunch, not dinner, I hear a skillet go, like she's like frying something in the middle of my Skype call. And I'm like,
she turned around and looked at me and just shook her head. And I didn't know, because you have little cherry tomatoes, you put them in the pan. I guess they pop when it's too hot. I don't know.
I don't know either. So that was on Monday. And then on Tuesday, again, I'm doing the Skype video where, the cameras are on and everybody's looking professional or trying to in their home environment. And Chelsea just walks up the steps, boom, boom, boom. And I'm looking at her like, no.
Okay, but
yes,
the thing is, you have multiple areas in this house that are designated for work areas. But you decide to set up camp right in the middle of the kitchen. That's where you decide to have all of your work meetings.
Okay, but remember when you entered my house on that Saturday, we claimed areas for work.
Yeah, but that's not my fault that you claimed the area that houses all of the food, the televisions, the seats, everything.
I said, this is my area. And it's funny because right in that area, I have my 2,000-piece jigsaw puzzle.
Right?
The TV.
You really are just...
The ice water. The lights.
The dogs are usually laying by you.
The dogs. But you got to remember something.
It's your house.
It's my house.
I know.
You know the real problem that I've been having?
What?
I keep making peanut butter cookies.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I was working hard during my work day, and then all of a sudden I started smelling peanut butter cookies.
In the middle of the day.
And then I was like, it's break time. And I went upstairs and mom literally had 2 pans full of peanut butter cookies. And I was like, what? When did you have time to do this?
Yeah.
And it's 1:00.
Yeah, it was in between one of the calls. But the problem is I keep eating them.
I'm okay with it.
Depends on how long we're quarantined. I can't keep eating batches of peanut butter cookies.
But the other thing about your house is that you got a nice little small workout room too. So you just hop on the treadmill. You got everything you need right here.
I do. I have not done that, but I do have that treadmill in my house.
I was going to tough it out in my apartment. I'm an adult. I'm a boss. I got this. And mom calls me freaking out on Saturday. And
I didn't call you.
Oh, no, she texted me.
I sent you a text.
And then I was just like, you know what? Instead of staying in this 200 square foot apartment, mom's house sounds really good right now.
And the puppies.
Yeah. So
I think that's what convinced you. Although you did ask if I had food.
Yeah. Well, I brought all of my food because I had bought food. So
yeah. And you're doing pretty good sharing because I know you don't like to share stuff, but you're doing pretty good with sharing.
We're in a pandemic.
We have to share.
Yeah. But I think we're doing well.
We are.
I think it's just the beginning, so.
It is. And I think, for in all seriousness and looking at the impact that this coronavirus is having on the country and the world, our states have been really, really engaged in keeping us informed of what's going on and what they'd like us to do. I think the least we can do is support our community. There are a lot of families that are struggling, whether people have lost their job or even lost a loved one. I mean, the least we can do is support each other. And you know what? The way that I'm also looking at this is I enjoy spending time with you like this.
I think so too. I think it's different because I briefly moved back home after I graduated college.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that was bad, but I think during that time, we both understood each other and the space that we both need. Because I feel like we're both independent people.
We are.
So it's not like we need to like excite each other and do all this stuff. Like we are happy just laying on the couch doing nothing.
Right. And we don't really have to have a lot of communication with each other.
No.
Our biggest issue is trying to figure out what to watch on TV together.
But Mom has taken one for the team. Oh my gosh. I somehow convinced her to watch Love is Blind.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but it's like this huge thing on the internet.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So just quickly, who was your favorite couple at the end of the show?
Couple or individuals?
Couple.
G and Damien. And again, I like G. Damien was okay, but I really, really like G.
Yeah. They were my favorite couple too.
I just think for her, I just loved the way she dressed. I loved how she spoke. I loved her independence.
Mm-hmm.
I think she could have and should have gone with Mark.
Really?
Yeah, I think anybody but Damien. So I guess the question is, like, we're really talking about reality TV on this gymnastics podcast? Really?
Okay, we're done. We're done with
Thank you.
I guess some gymnastics news. It's not college gymnastics related, but the Summer Olympics has officially been postponed to 2021.
Yeah, it needed to be. I don't know what took the IOC so long to make that decision. I guess they were hoping against hope that the world would be ready.
Yeah, which
I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
But it looks like the athletes have really been very supportive of the decision and understanding the decision.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be easy to understand that now my body has a whole nother year of training.
Yeah. You go into the year thinking, this is it. I got to train as hard as I can. This is a once in a lifetime chance that I have.
Or once in every 4 years chance.
Yeah, but for gymnasts, it's kind of once in a lifetime.
That's true. Except for Simone Biles.
Yeah. And then, like, in a blink of an eye, I feel like a lot of people, actually, I really don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this will affect athletes all around, especially those who were struggling to make it to July. Now knowing that they have to make it a whole nother year, if they're physically going to be able to do it.
When I think about Simone, she's already competing longer than most gymnasts her age. So let's add another year to it. Now, if any gymnast can do it,
It's Simone.
it's Simone.
But also thinking about the planning of the training, the coaches plan out year by year how these gymnasts will peak at the right time. And I wonder if these gymnasts that were on the rise to peaking, if that will hurt them or if it really doesn't matter or just really how it plays out.
What about like Michaela?
Right, because then you have those gymnasts who were trying to make it for the Olympics this year and then going to college in the fall. So are they just going to defer another year? Are they going to just say, all right, I'm just going to go to college this fall? I mean, and then there's also the question of, do we let the gymnast who turned 16 in 2021, do we allow them to compete because technically they are of age?
I don't
or
think
do
so.
we...
I think it's who's ever, because I would assume, and I don't know this, but I would assume that in many sports, that decision had already been made of who was going to go to the Tokyo Games.
No.
No, really?
No.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say if that decision has already been made, then whoever's been selected is the group that's going.
What? A year from now?
Yeah.
No way.
No.
So much can change in a year.
But it's kind of the same question we had about the NCAA decision and what happens to those seniors, and can they come back and compete another year?
Yeah.
It's the same question.
This week, a lot of the divisions announced some of the awards and All-American, so it doesn't look like that the seniors are going to have another chance, but again, who knows?
Really, just because of the awards that they've made?
I actually don't know. It's probably just a way to just wrap up the season and give the gymnast credit.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think that decision has been made. I really don't. I just don't think people are even around to make that decision.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to talk about is, because there's no gymnastics on, this past weekend, the SEC channel actually aired the 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship, which was actually so nice to watch. Also a little sad because now knowing that we don't get to watch the SECs this year. But it was a good meet, even though we knew what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah, even though we watched it last year.
Right. That's the one meet I wish we would have been able to go to. It was in Louisiana, New Orleans, and LSU won.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't go either.
I don't know either. But you got to see Sarah again?
Yeah.
Was it sad?
No, it wasn't sad. You know what? It's interesting. Watching LSU a year later, watching Florida a year later, and now comparing those teams to the teams from this year. LSU was a completely different team.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think SECs would have been as competitive or even exciting. I think Florida kind of had it in the bag.
I do too.
But it still would have been fun to watch.
Yeah, but I think when we talk about LSU, it was McKenna, Lexi, and Sarah, and just the three of them and their ability to score 995s. When those three seniors left last year, they really didn't replace them. I mean, obviously you have Kaya, so she replaces one of those scores, right? Mm-hmm. But you still have two more. And those are like known scores, right? You know those three gymnasts last year are going to hit, and they're going to hit 9.9, 9.95s.
Yeah.
If not 10s. And then when you look at Florida, same thing. Like
it almost like the teams flip-flopped. Florida looked like they were kind of just questioning themselves. They weren't really sure of their ability compared to this year, where they knew they were going to go in and do the best that they could do and beat whoever they were competing against.
Yeah, what a difference a year makes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in Florida's case, you still had seniors that left. You know, you had Alicia who left.
Which, so nice to watch her floor routine again.
It was. Yeah. I still think it's one of my favorites.
It is.
Jeremy
no one
did
can
such
top
a good job with that routine.
Yeah.
And Alicia did such a good job of performing that routine. But long story short,
that's why she won last year at Nationals.
Did she win floor?
She did.
Did she really?
Yeah.
How come I don't remember that?
And then we interviewed her the day after.
I remember that part, but I don't remember her winning. But again, I think when we talk about Trinity, her progress in a year.
Yeah.
She figured out college gymnastics.
Yeah, she just looked a little hesitant in everything that she was doing.
She didn't have the same confidence.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see the teams the next year.
Next year Trinity will be a junior.
Oh my God. Like how?
Nuts.
Where? Like, oh my gosh.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Oh, but you know who else we got to watch? Sabrina Vega.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Sabrina Vega as a junior. And again, she's very different as a senior. Mm-hmm. And she's still amazing. But just that extra year as a senior.
Yeah.
It's like they just decide as a senior, just leaving it all out there.
It's not your first rodeo. No. You know what it's about.
Nope. And I think you also see the seniors recognize that time is an issue. Mm-hmm. When you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, there are other things that you find as issues, right? The crowds, the coaches, the skills, the pressure. When you're a senior, it just looks like the only thing that really is an issue is time and the time that you have left.
And I know for me, when I was a senior, it was in my underclassmen career, it was, oh, I got to do well so that they know that I earned my spot on the team, and I need to perform well or my coach is not going to put me in lineup next week, stuff like that. But by the time senior year came around, I was like, I'm going to do this for me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much that can really change your performance when you know that other people aren't putting that pressure on you and you don't care what other people think.
Yeah. It's more that. It's more the latter.
Yeah.
that even if people were putting pressure on you, you're not taking it.
This is my career.
Yeah.
My last year's for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you saw. So I know we mentioned it, but watching Sarah Finnegan,
I know.
I just don't think there's another gymnast like her.
One of a kind.
I really believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching Sarah when she was a freshman. And again, compared to how she ended up her senior year.
Totally different.
But her style of gymnastics.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And, I've gone a full season not
You have.
going Sarah nuts,
You
right?
have.
But just watching her, I understand why I went Sarah nuts all the time.
You're not the only one. Kathy loves Sarah.
Kathy does love Sarah.
There's a lot of people that just really appreciate her gymnastics. So yeah, the SEC channel, since sports are on a hold, are now replaying all of the old games and matches and meets. And it's really cool that each day they're dedicating to a different team. So on Sunday, it was all LSU. So it was softball before gymnastics came on. And then it was football after, but it was all LSU. So they've been doing that with every SEC team.
Do you think that they will some point show nationals again?
That's a good question.
That would be fun.
That would be fun to watch. So we got a lot of comments last week. We asked what ideas you have, what you want us to talk about now that the gymnastics season is over. And we received a lot of great suggestions. The first one was from Hattie, and she said a potential episode idea is Chelsea and Diana relive either Chelsea's first collegiate meet or her most memorable meet. What each of you were thinking, what happened in a play-by-play kind of way.
I'm raising my hand. I'll do that.
Describe the gym, the Leo, the emotions, everything.
Oh, I love that idea.
My stomach is churning. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
You guys think I would go on and on and on with Sarah Finnegan.
Oh, gosh.
Let me talk about my daughter and her gymnastics.
We have to agree on a meet, though. Well, I don't even know if I really remember a specific meet.
I remember when you won regionals.
Oh, and club.
I remember when you won states.
Oh, gosh. Hattie, I don't know if you should have suggested this.
I can talk about the Leo. I can talk about how I felt. I can talk about the drive to the meet.
We'll have to, I think this is a really, really good idea. I think Mom and I have to talk briefly off air about this.
Oh, really now?
Well, just so we know, just so we're on the same page.
Maybe we should see if other people would think that's a good idea before we do it.
No, some people favorited that tweet.
They did.
Yeah.
Wow. Because, we talk about your gymnastics, but it's mostly...
The trials and tribulations.
Yeah, we do the trials and tribulations and those memories, but we don't really talk about the competition.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea.
It would allow us to actually remember the good part.
Yeah.
Because what sticks in our mind...
Unless we talk about bad meets.
I think... We're not going to pick a bad meet. I mean, we just can't. But I think, what sticks in our mind a lot are the difficult parts. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of good parts in competition that we could do. Although you really did hate competition.
I know. I feel like, I forget, is it like cognitive therapy or behavioral therapy where it's like you have to picture yourself in that moment that you fear so much?
Yeah.
That's what this is like.
Yes, we may not want to go there.
No, we will. I can suck it up.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, Mom was, first of all, let's talk about that. Mom was worse than me. She couldn't even watch me do beam.
No, I can't. I couldn't. No.
And it's funny because for all of my beam routines that are in my recruiting video, you just hear Mom in the background. Yes, yes.
Take your time.
After every skill.
Take your time. You can do this.
Yes.
That tells you I was, and I'm not recording the video.
No, my dad
I'm just watching.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like.
Mom was going through it herself.
Yeah, so we have to think about this, Chelsea. Maybe we just did it. That was what we just did. We lived through one of your routines.
No, she wants to know the Leo, the music we were listening to in the car ride there. She wants to know the whole thing.
We can do the one where you did the triple series on beam for the first time. That was pretty cool.
But thank you for that idea,
I think
Hattie.
that
we'll definitely add that to the
I
list.
say the same thing. Thank you for that idea. I don't know if we're going to do it.
No, we will.
I'm not there yet.
I don't know
Chels.
when.
I'm not there yet, Chels.
Oh, okay.
I got to think about that one.
All right.
Maybe we just go to college and skip club.
Does it get better?
It did get better. It definitely got better. It's taken
I
us...
remember my first collegiate meet.
I do too.
That was like the best beam routine I did in my whole career.
It was. And you were
I think 'cause
so shocked.
I know. Well, I don't think I really understood.
Right.
Which is why everyone's like, oh, I hate when commentators say she's only a freshman. But speaking from experience, as a freshman, you don't get it at all. I'm telling, like, I did the best beam routine of my life because I didn't get it. I didn't know I was fighting for my spot in lineup.
No, and I remember when you got off and they gave you the score and your teammates like hugged you and like and your coach hugged and you were looking at everybody like, what? Why?
I just did the routine.
What happened?
That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know either, actually. I didn't know you just did amazing beam
Right?
routine.
Yeah. And like
we didn't know.
Everyone was like, yeah, Chels. I was like, this is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And that was before you had that pressure.
Exactly.
Because you didn't know.
Which is why it was my best routine.
You didn't know that, oh, now I have to do that every time to keep my spot. Yeah, see, I don't know why we want to do this, is my point.
But I think even reliving that, like,
we just did.
Yeah, but it's like, Hattie, I'll work on her.
She's in my house for a long time.
She's my roommate now, so.
Hattie, I can't promise you. I really can't. This might just be like, not co-host, but just host of the Routine Podcast, where Chelsea just talks about it. We also got a couple of tweets from Cole, and Cole says, duh, seniors should be granted or given the opportunity to have another year of eligibility. I do not believe they will, though, nor do I see how it would be possible.
I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen.
You agree with me? You agree with Cole?
I agree with Cole. I don't think the NCAA is going to give seniors another year. And I think it's just too complicated.
I'm still thinking they're going to have to. I'm still there. I can hope against hope. I think they will. I think the NCAA will. I just don't know how many seniors will take them up on that. I think that's what we said in our last episode, and I still stick to that.
If I had the opportunity, I wouldn't take it. But I also wasn't like a Division I, like high level gymnast. But
no,
still.
I know you wouldn't take it. You'd be like,
but it's not even like
peace out.
Actually, no, yeah.
Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.
See ya.
I got other things to do.
Yeah, no, you know.
Life moves on. It's a sign. It was supposed to end. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't play with fire.
Cole also shared an answer to our question about how we should celebrate seniors on the podcast. And she said, definitely please do a super senior celebration episode honoring those who may be done forever. Can you get interviews with any of them to get their insight? I love that. Idea. I think we should do that too.
I think we're just waiting.
We're being sensitive about the time.
Right. Because even like, I think not only to be sensitive of others, but even sensitive to ourselves, because the world's in a crazy time. We just don't know where anything is going.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I just think that there's a lot for people to understand and get through. And we're just allowing the seniors, the parents, the coaches, the teams, the fans to kind of wrestle with the current emotions that we have. And to your point, we also have what's going on from a health perspective. So you're just going to hear us for a little while.
I hope you guys are okay with that. And then speaking of seniors, we also got a comment from Taylor, and she said, future episodes should detail the seniors per each team's NCAA career as a whole, like their trajectory from freshman to senior year.
Oh, so we talk about seniors on different teams and kind of their collegiate career in gymnastics.
Yeah, so
I like that idea.
I think that rolls right into our new segment.
Oh, no, Chelsea.
I'm I'm the segment queen over here.
Please don't do news we can use.
No news you can use this week.
Good.
But I think for the time being,
Yes.
we should have a senior spotlight segment.
That's good. See, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That's not the same as news you can use.
But I think
like that.
Yeah, I think every week we should highlight some seniors.
So every podcast, we're going to pick a team and talk about the seniors? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so my idea was to have a random generator on the internet that selects a team that we should talk about, and then we talk about the seniors on that team. That way we're not biased in choosing which teams we're talking about. It's really just from Division 3 to Division 1, we choose a team.
That's a lot of team shows.
Well, we might not get to all of the teams.
Okay.
But that way we're able to diversify which teams we talk about.
I think that's a great idea. And maybe like for those Division 2 or Division 3 teams that we're not as familiar with, we can get Rebecca back from College Gym News to help us.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I also think that depending on how this random generator works, there are some teams, and maybe we just say, we will definitely talk about the top 5 teams. Because we should.
Okay.
Okay?
I could get with that.
So if the random generator does not give us those top 5, then at some point in time, we will definitely talk about their seniors.
I like that idea.
Great. So we're going to start that today, the random generator?
So in the name of diversification, let's start with LSU.
Let's just, for this first one, since it's a new idea, we won't do the random generator.
Well, the reason I was kind of kidding.
Okay.
But the reason I said LSU is because we actually got an email from Shayla. And she said, please celebrate Kennedy Edney, Ruby Harold, and Ashlyn Kirby from LSU. These ladies have been an integral piece to LSU's success the past 4 years. It broke my heart to see their careers end the way it did. Kennedy did not get the opportunity to defend her vault title for a second time. Ruby has been the bar anchor all year, and she has been the calming voice to the freshman class. Ashlyn had to retire prematurely due to injuries, which is totally unfair. I have enjoyed watching these fire-breathing dragons the past 4 years, and I was not mentally prepared for the season to come to an abrupt end.
We're going to talk about the seniors in a minute, but I just want to say thank you to Shayla. And maybe that's what we also do. Yes, you've got your random generator, but if we get comments from our listeners, that just takes the place of a random generator.
I agree.
Okay?
Yeah. I really love this email because it sheds light on all of the seniors at LSU, and I think each of them had individual qualities that they brought to the team. Ruby, especially this last year, you could see how much of a leader she was. She also brought in amazing scores, but more than that, she was a leading voice for this team.
Yeah, and I think Ruby's bubbliness, right? Her excitement about life,
right,
is so visible.
Yeah.
When you watch her compete. And I think we had the privilege of watching her compete at Florida. Do you remember that vault that she did?
And her bar routine. She was killing it at Florida this year.
She was. And both of those could have been 10 scores.
Yeah. She was so much fun. And what I really like about Ruby is that she is completely an individual. Take it or leave it. You know, she is who she is, and she owns it.
One of my favorite things about Ruby Chels is on one of the SEC shows, they did interviews with her. Of course, she's from England. So to just hear her English accent.
And you didn't know that she was from England, right?
I know, I did know.
Okay.
I definitely knew because they would talk about her competing in their Olympics. But I never heard her voice. And obviously, I figured she had an English accent. But to hear her voice and hear the English accent makes it even more fun.
Yeah. And I think we just have to also lastly mention the growth that she's shown from her freshman year to her senior year. She really, really upped her game, especially going into her junior season. She was like totally in shape, a completely different gymnast, and she was there to compete and make a mark on her team.
Yeah, I think she knew that she was going to be the leader when those other big seniors left. Mm-hmm. And she, completely filled those shoes.
Yeah. So congrats on an amazing career, Ruby. And
we'll miss your bar routine.
we'll miss your aura.
We will.
Yeah.
We
The
definitely
Gymternet will. The Gymternet loves Ruby.
I love Ruby.
The next senior, Kennedy Edney.
Kennedy.
I've been with her since freshman year.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You absolutely have. When I was like fawning over Sarah, you were always fawning over Kennedy.
Yeah. I feel like I was one of her biggest cheerleaders. Because I feel like she was one of those gymnasts that she didn't have really like the fanfare behind her. Without Kennedy, I don't think LSU these past 4 years would have been where they are today.
I agree with that. I think more importantly for me, she's always been a top competitor.
Yeah.
From day one at LSU, she was a game day on person.
Yeah.
When Kennedy went up, especially on beam or bars or vault,
Yeah.
right? Kennedy was up and she performed.
And what's so interesting about Kennedy, which I'm guessing some people might not know, is that at least the times that we've seen her, she usually doesn't have the best warm-ups.
That's true.
She's a little shaky in warm-ups, but by the time that the lights come on, the cameras are turned on, she hits it like it's nothing.
That's why I say game day girl.
Yeah. So in 2017 and in 2019, she was the NCAA vault champion.
She was a vault champion in two separate years.
Yeah, and we saw
And
both
I guess
of
we
them.
saw both of them. She was vault champion last year?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I remember. Do you remember her vault freshman year?
I definitely remember that.
Yeah,
But
we
I
watched
do not
that live.
remember it last year.
Yeah.
Was it
There were a couple of vault champions.
Okay.
But it was still a really good vault. She was also the 5th gymnast to win multiple national championships in LSU history. She's one of 8 gymnasts in LSU history to score a 995 or higher on all 4 events. And she ended her career with 36 career individual titles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the thing that we find about Kennedy is she's almost like this unsung hero for LSU, where she's not the person that Kathy and Bart are interviewing afterwards. She appears a little bit more laid back, but then to your point, she goes out there and hits and gets all those titles like you just mentioned.
Yeah. And I think that is a testament to everyone has their own working styles, and in turn, everyone responds to different coaching styles. You just need to learn what works best for that gymnast.
Right, exactly. I think that's one of the things that the LSU coaches are pretty amazing about. So congratulations, Ruby and Kennedy.
And Ashlyn, she had a really great career at LSU her first couple of years, but again, she had to retire due to injury, but I definitely enjoyed watching her.
Beautiful gymnast.
So that's one senior session, senior spotlight, sorry, gotta get that right.
The SS.
That's one senior spotlight.
SOS.
Oh my gosh. But should we choose next week's seniors?
Do you got your random generator?
I do.
All right, let's see what it is. Now, again, if we get a comment or tweet or voicemail, it could supersede the generator, right?
Yes.
Or maybe we do both. I don't know.
It could supersede.
Okay.
So, first come, first serve, y'all.
Are you random generating now?
Can I get a drum roll?
Okay.
It's downloading.
Oh boy, how long do I have to do the drum?
And the winner is the University of Alaska. But this is actually fun for us because we get to learn about gymnasts that we don't typically watch.
I think it's great. Okay, so for those listening, if you are familiar with seniors from the University of Alaska, make sure you leave us a voicemail, send us an email, tweet us, any of those things to help give us more information about these seniors that we're going to celebrate from the University of Alaska.
And I know there are some Alaska stans out there.
Stands.
Super fans.
Oh, is that what that means?
I think so.
You know who talked about the University of Alaska and it was one of her teams?
Rebecca.
Rebecca did.
Yeah.
It might be Rebecca time. Rebecca, it might be showtime, girl. Because she talked about the school.
I think that's a really good team to start off with because they had a lot of talented seniors this year.
Did they?
Yeah.
I like this new segment, Chelsea.
I do too.
Senior Spotlight on the Routine Podcast.
Well, I hope you guys liked today's episode.
We're done?
Yeah.
Wow,
we're already at
guys.
like 40 minutes.
Look at us.
That was a good episode.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I didn't think we had anything to talk about.
Oh, we always have stuff to talk about.
I know.
I hope that we were a nice distraction for you all, you know?
A good distraction.
Bring some normalcy to your lives.
I don't know if that's normal.
Us?
Yeah, I don't think we're normal. No.
We're normal. I think
Okay.
we're normal.
Okay, if you say so.
But if you like today's episode, be sure to give us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast app. It really helps us out. And again, if you have seniors that you want us to talk about from the University of Alaska, or if you have ideas for what we should talk about for the rest of season, you can tweet us. Our Twitter is @routinepodcast. You can email us at info@theroutinepodcast.com, or you can leave us a voicemail on our website, theroutinepodcast.com.
And you do that by going to the episode that you are interested in leaving a comment about. You'll see a voicemail button. Click the voicemail button, click the microphone button, and leave us a voicemail. And Chelsea, we need to remind people before we leave about our membership and becoming a Routine Podcast member.
Yeah, so if you all want to support us, we have 3 levels. The first being general admission, the second front row seat, and the top tier box seat.
And with those 2 tiers, the box and front row seats, you actually get a Routine Podcast bag. You get 2 choices of a bag. We've got the classic that Chelsea designed.
My favorite.
Chelsea's favorite. And then you've got the one that I designed, which is a white canvas bag, which I think that's my favorite, that says "This Mom Tweets."
Even though Mom doesn't tweet.
Even though Mom doesn't tweet. I like the bag.
Wait, what's the story behind that?
You don't remember?
I think a mom, yeah.
Yes, we got a
You
really good
explain it.
voicemail. Yeah. So this was when I think it was our first episode. Chelsea would always read to me all the various tweets that we would get, or forward to me all the various tweets we would get. And at some point I talked about how, well, I'm a mom that does not tweet.
I think you said like a more general, parents don't tweet, moms don't tweet.
I don't think I did. I think you remember it that way, but that's not what happened. Long story short, we got a tweet from a mom, a really good tweet about one of the subjects we were talking about. And at the end of it, she wrote P.S. Although probably she didn't say P.S. I say P.S. She wrote, "And this mom tweets."
Well, she said #this mom tweets.
That's what she said. She said #this mom tweets. So long story short, that's what that bag looks like. It's a white bag. I'm sitting here looking at both of them right now.
So if you all want to support us, again, you can sign up for any of those 3 options.
Chelsea, it's been fun. I'd like to go upstairs and eat another peanut butter cookie.
Not if I get to it first.
You know there's only 3 left.
Not if I get to it first.
Didn't you just have 2 with like ice cream?
I did. But I also worked out, so you know my metabolism, it's flowing tonight.
Did you like warm up the peanut butter cookies?
I did.
And then you put ice cream in between it?
It was delicious.
Ooh, I think I'm just going to go with the cookie and forget the ice cream,
That's fair.
since I've been eating lots of cookies.
Okay, maybe we should end the podcast.
Okay. It's been fun, Chelsea.
It's been fun, Mom.
I'm enjoying being quarantined with you.
Hopefully we make it next week, guys.
Yeah, let's see how we sound
There's
next
no
week.
episode next week. You know why? We killed each other.
And we'll think about that whole routine thing, the old Chelsea routine thing. Again, I'm not feeling it yet, but we'll think about it.
I'll convince her.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.